I'm going to start my in-cab inspection. Starting with my seatbelt. It's properly mounted, secured. It's not ripped, torn, or frayed. It latches, unlatches correctly, and it is adjusted to me. Next, I'm going to check my safety equipment. I should have spare fuses in the upper head compartment or the glove box. To the right of the driver's seat, in between the driver's and passenger seat, there are 3 red reflective triangles, DOT rated. To the left of me is a fire extinguisher that is properly mounted, secured, fully charged with the pin in place. Next, I'm going to safe start my vehicle. This is the automatic transmission, making sure that the parking brakes are engaged. The transmission is in neutral. I'm going to turn the key on. The gauges sweep. The ABS light comes on and cuts off, saying that the anti-lock brakes work. There, it's off. There it goes. Next, I'm going to safe start the truck. I'm going to do my gauge checks next. Oil gauge is working and rising to operating level. Water gauge is working and rising to operating level. My voltmeter is showing that it's charging and there are no warning lights on the dash. My primary and secondary air tanks are rising to the governor cutoff that happens between 120 and 140 psi. If they're not all the way filled, at this point I'm going to rev my engine, but my tach should not go over 1500, and I'm going to make sure my tanks are filled before I proceed. If not, my air horn will not work, my air rise on my seat will not work, and I will not be able to release my air brakes. That arrow mark is at 125, just to let you guys know. That sound was the governor cutout, and it happened between 120 and 140. Next, I'm going to check my indicator lights. So I'm going to turn my turn signal. Left indicator light is working. Right indicator light is working. 4-ways are working. And my high beam is working. Your headlights must be on in order for your high beam indicator to work. Next, I'm going to check my city horn, an air horn or highway horn, then my heater and defroster, all the way on high, all the way on hot, defrost and foot vent heater. Make sure that there is heat going out the defroster and heat coming out the heater vent. Then I'm going to check my mirrors. They should be clean and adjusted to the driver from the inside. Your switches are on the door. Try not to adjust them with your hand, you'll strip out the motor. The windshield is properly mounted, secured, not cracked, chipped, or broken. It is clean. There are no illegal stickers or obstructions to my view. My wipers are properly mounted, secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. They operate smoothly. And my washer fluid sprays evenly and does not leave streaks. Now I'm ready for my tug tests. I'm going to release the trailer brake to test the tractor brake. Push in its release, hold the service brake to shift into drive, and I'm going to lightly press the throttle to tug against the tractor brake and make sure it holds. So the truck didn't move, the brake held. That was a success. Next, I'm going to engage the trailer brake, disengage the tractor brake to check the trailer brake, make sure it's holding. Again, pressing the throttle and keeping it in drive, tug against the trailer brake to make sure it holds. That was a success. Now I can release the trailer brake only because the tractor's already released. I'm going to check my service brake. I'm going to drive forward at 5 miles an hour and then apply the brake. The truck should stop and not pull left or right. The truck stopped and didn't pull left or right. That was a success. If I pull out the tractor brake, the trailer comes with it. So you only have to pull the one brake out. go back to neutral, set your brakes, and we're going to fill our tanks back to the governor cutout. You must do this or you will fail your air brake checks. The order of these next 4 tests cannot be changed. Governor, leak down, low air warning light and buzzer, then pop out valve test. That was my governor, and it happened between 120 and 140 PSI. That was a success. Next, I'm going to shut off my truck. You would say you would get out to chalk your tires. You don't actually have to do it. You will be on flat ground on your test day. When you get back in from chalking your tires, you are going to turn the key back on. All the gauges light back up. They have to work in order to check the next 3 tests. I'm going to release my tractor, then trailer brake. After the initial air loss, I'm going to press and hold the service pedal, and I should not lose more than 4 PSI in 60 seconds. And you're going to count out loud. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and you're just going to keep counting up to 60. I did not lose more than 4 PSI in 60 seconds, so that was a success. Next, I'm going to do my low air warning light and buzzer. I'm going to pump my brakes, which makes my tanks lose air, and my light and buzzer should come on before I drop below 55 PSI on the gauges. So pumping makes you lose air. The light and the alarm come on before you hit 55 PSI on the gauges. That was a success. Next, I'm going to do my pop-out valve test. You cannot touch these with your hands. They must pop out on their own, and you can't double-check them with your hands. You're just going to watch them. Pump your brakes, and the valves should pop out at approximately 40 PSI. Both of them have to pop out. Now that both have popped, I check my gauges, approximately 40 PSI, and that was a success. At this point, you want to make sure everything happened the way it should have, that you got everything, and you only say, that concludes my in-cab inspection if everything was correct. If you missed your governor, if you missed pushing in your valves, if you missed having your light on, you must go back to safe start the truck and do your governor cutout all over again, and then your leak down, and then your light and buzzer, and then your pop-out valve. And everything needs to happen correctly and in that order to pass. They will allow you to restart as long as you catch your mistake and you do not complete the in-cab. Just say, I made a mistake, I'm going back to my governor cutout test.